Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Hell's Newsletter podcast. I know we've been AWOL for about a month, and I want to apologize for that personally. Today's episode, well, the first episode of today is going to be a solo episode. This is to represent the October 15th episode that was supposed to come out while I was on vacation at TwitchCon. But unfortunately, neither of my Airbnbs had a really good Wi-Fi connection, and it was just way too hard to schedule it around and do everything. So this is actually going to be a solo episode with just me, no guests. Oof is not going to be here for this one. He will be in the Halloween one, which is coming out in an hour after this. So this may be a bit of a shorter episode, but it's just going to be kind of going over some of the stuff that happened at TwitchCon, highlighting some new companies and charities, and maybe a couple announcements about what I'm going to be doing in the future. Um, but yeah, I guess to start off, I just want to say that TwitchCon and the Thirst Gala were some of the most fun I've had in a long time. I absolutely loved being out on those vacations, and it was honestly well and truly like one of my favorite things about going. I got to meet so many people. I got to meet old friends again. I got to meet new friends. I made a new friends group of streamers. I actually have to reach out to them still. I have not talked to them since TwitchCon actually. And I didn't actually get to record any of this, but we actually did an escape room just on a fluke with a guy I had met the day prior, and it was really fun. And I just really love being like that kind of that spontaneous space. Um, but yeah, I had so much fun. I met so many charities. Got drunk at the TwitchCon party, which was a time. Um, and yeah, it was just all in all a really good fucking time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna be kind of going over some of the events and stuff. Which number one being someone broke their spine at TwitchCon. A streamer by the name of Adriana Check, I believe. I messed up the last name. Her first name was definitely Adriana. I just cannot remember the last name for the life of me right now. And I was actually at the booth the day it happened. So yeah, the Lenovo booth, for those who don't know, they had like this sword fighting thing, where you know those phone pay 3 sword fight and stuff. Actually, in my TwitchCon vlog coming out soon, there will be a clip of me and Whirly fighting on the other one. There was a Wendy's one, that was safer and a lot more fun. Um, but yeah, the Lenovo one actually had a thing where they kept saying, "Oh, there's no rules," so I witnessed people get dive tackled off those platforms and so forth. And this poor girl ended up breaking her back as well as having some other injuries and losing a pregnancy in the process. She was pregnant at the time, and she lost it during the surgery. And there were other injuries to other patrons who did it, but yeah, Lenovo really didn't think over the whole kind of thing of what was going on there. It was a very poor mistake on their part. I'm not poor mistake, sorry, poor choice. That's the better word. It was a very poor choice on their part, and it cost a lot of people what should have been a good weekend and a happy weekend for them. Um, and TwitchCon is also partially at fault for not shutting the booth down. I'm a little surprised they didn't, but I'm also a little not. But Lenovo is definitely kind of top of the shit list there. They really shouldn't have done it. Um, but yeah, there was also another incident that I heard of with the Minecraft YouTubers. They were all there, and there was some giant issue that went on apparently with like lines, and apparently quite a few like disabled people were getting shoved around and knocked over and shit as people were trying to cram their way into an area and shit like that. Um, so yeah, good job to the MCYT fandom. You guys fucking suck. No, I'm just kidding. Well, okay. There's a few good eggs. Most of you suck. Um, but yeah, so shit's been a shit's been a really interesting time with that. I'm gonna throw up some like photos and just talk about like some of the stuff that I had going on. Just kind of get away from the bad news that occurred. But yeah, number one was that escape room I mentioned where we did it. We did it with a new streamer I met, Nate. Really cool guy. I'll have his Twitch link in the description of this video. And then hopefully I'll be streaming with him soon for sure. But yeah, me, Whirly, and Nate did an escape room together. It was Western themed. We spent 30 minutes in a jail cell, which was really embarrassing before we finally figured out how to get out. But we ended up escaping with about 6 minutes left, and that was fun. And then in the vlog, I'm not actually sure if this footage is usable because I haven't gotten to that point in the vlog yet while editing it. But Whirly and I did another escape room that a charity had actually set up at TwitchCon. So it was like a 7-minute escape room where you had to escape from a witch and everything. And they allowed me to record inside of it. but it was pretty dark in there, so I don't know how well the footage is going to come out. But we'll see how that goes, and I'm going to put it in the vlog anyways, probably, because it was really funny, because it was like 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and Worley and I had no fucking clue what we were doing. We were so goddamn tired. So that was another experience. That was pretty fun. And then I was at the TwitchCon party. I did end up seeing Meet Me at the Altar, Kim Petras, and Megan the Stallion, although I was too blackout drunk by the time Megan came on, so I actually don't remember her performance. Yeah, I remember the first two. I don't remember Megan the Stallion's, but apparently she did twerk on a Master Chief cosplayer there, which was a thing, I guess. At least that's what I heard the next day, which is wildly entertaining, but, go off. But yeah, honestly, like, I just loved it all. And I mean, here's some, like, I'm gonna put some photos over here of like the Thirst Gala, or at least photos I got while I was there. That was a really amazing point. I'm actually doing a section of them in the vlog here, and I'm gonna be doing a charity event for them this December, which will hopefully be fun, as well as doing some other stuff. But yeah, I met a bunch of other charities, such as the ILF, which is one of them. I'm not going to give away too much information because I actually will be announcing an event soon with them. Potentially, I'm meeting with one of them tomorrow on Thursday, November 3rd. Yeah, Tuesday, November 3rd, and I'm meeting with another brand I met at TwitchCon today, actually, in about 13 hours, and I have not slept yet. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm honestly really hyped for all of it. I wish I had more in depth to go. I'm not the best content creator alone. I'll go off and say this right now. Alone, I'm really not the best content creator. It's usually good when I'm like I have someone to bounce off of, and the banter becomes a lot more real. But it's harder for me to make jokes and stuff. So I do apologize for this episode being kind of bland and probably kind of short, if I'm being honest. Um, but yeah, I met a lot of cool brands. I actually ended up getting a new mouse pad, which is it's like it's two ships locked in a sea battle. It's like a whole desk pad that goes under my keyboard and mouse, and it looks really cool. I love it. Met them, talked to some other places, and this is mentioned in the video coming out in an hour. But I do want to say real quick, the reason we actually didn't get a lot of podcasting out, we would have had the October 31st and everything up on time, but my CPU cooler actually failed on me like 2 days after getting back from TwitchCon vacation. Like October 18th, like I got back the 16th, and like October 18th, 19th, my PC started slowing down like crazy. No idea what was going on. Kept using it for about a week, and then it just kept getting slower and slower and slower. And I was like, eventually, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Ran a bunch of checks, tried to figure everything out. And then at one point, I caught wind of my PC sounding like, it was overheating a bit because, I don't know, I just heard some weird noises. Checked my PC temps. My CPU was running at 200 degrees Fahrenheit and 96 Celsius while idling, like just having Discord and Spotify open. So that shit was dying. But yeah, that's kind of the reason that a lot of the episode didn't come out on time. They're coming out on November 2nd today instead of October 31st. But we do still have the Halloween episode coming up next with all of the scary stories, and we really hope you guys enjoy that. Those are going to be so fun. But yeah, I also did finally get to visit Vegas for the first time, and that was really fun. For those who don't know, my friend Worley, I was originally going to drive him to LAX so he could fly home. Like, we were going to leave at like 4 a.m. from the Airbnb, drive to LAX so I could drop him off and everything. But we decided to say, fuck that, actually. Slept in, and I took him to Vegas. So I drove him all the way back. We got to hang out in Vegas for a night. We actually went to this, like, conveyor belt revolving sushi bar, which I've never been to a place like that before. It was so cool. Like, it was the most random things because the sushi just scrolls by your table and you just grab what you want, put it on your table, eat it, and each plate I think was like what, $3 at most, and you can custom order stuff too. That's like brought out by a robot that stops at your table. You pull it up, put it down, the robot retracts away. And I didn't get any footage there because I was really just there to have a good time, but it was really fucking cool. And I don't know, it was just so random because like we don't have stuff like that in SF really, at least not a lot of it. So it was really random just kind of see it. I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck? But like, yeah, you just grabbed it and like do that. And it's also the first time I've had sushi in a while because I have a paranoia about eating in San Francisco ever since we had an oil leak a while back, and I got food poisoning like 3 times in a month because of it at all different restaurants. Lovely time. But yeah, no, that was a really nice time. And, like we had a great time. I met all of Worley's friends and roommates over there. And I also, oh, I think this is the best part. I got tailed by two cops within like 2 hours of being in Vegas. Because apparently they're strict and all just cunts there for some reason. But yeah, on the highway in, this cop is like tailgating me up the ass almost. And I'm talking like maybe 5, 6 feet behind my car, and he's like running my goddamn plates. Which I mean, go off, I guess, tourist car and everything. I was kind of speeding, which I guess they're really hard on over there. I mean, it's fucking annoying. Whatever. And then while I was driving back to Worley's place after visiting one of the local kind of attractions in the area, I got tailed again for like 3, 4 straight blocks, which was also really stupid. Um, but yeah, it was all in all, it was like a great fucking time. I had fun there. I had fun at TwitchCon. I met up with an old friend of mine named User. Um, Met a bunch of new friends, and it was just I loved everything about it. Not as many people as I wished could have made it this year, which kind of sucks. But it was great. Met some of Worley's friends at TwitchCon as well. I also met up with a friend. I reconnected with a friend I had not spoken to since 2019, which was also awesome. We went to an event together back in 2019, and we hadn't spoken since. And then I mentioned one day we had like an open spot in our Airbnb, and she was like, "Hey, if it's still open, I would love to come." And we were like, "Fucking bet, yeah, of course it's open." So me and Worley and her were at the Airbnb. We all hang out, had a great time. Also fought off a lot of spiders while we were in that Airbnb too. It was a lovely time though. And I got to meet so many streamers, dude, and they were some of the coolest fucking people. Like, I gotta say, the reason, like, I would be getting so emotional right now if I wasn't so tired, I would say, number one. But, like, this was 3 years in the making for me. And I mentioned this, I think, like, more than a few times in the video, but I am so happy to have gotten to go to this event and to have met as many people as I did and everything. Like, there is something else. There's something so beautiful about, like, the world being stuck in a 2-year pandemic and everything shuts down. Stores close early, restaurants aren't open for like months at a time, and the world just feels dead. And it's like, you have what? Work, school, internet. That's it. Because no one's going to bars, no one's doing this shit, no one's doing anything. And there was just something so surreal about suddenly, after 2 years of this, seeing 28,000 people in a convention center. And yeah, some are friends, some are strangers, but there was something just so surreal about seeing 28,000 people, whether they knew each other or not, meeting up, having an amazing time, and everyone just existing and getting along. And I mean, like, as I mentioned, I made friends with a bunch of people. I know Worley, even like Worley was there. He won a competition for a $3,500 monitor, which was really awesome. It was an Apex competition where it was first to win. He got a 3-minute handicap because it took him that long to get into a match, but he won his first match and won the monitor. And it I don't know, man. It was a TSM competition, but I don't know. There was just this meant everything to me, and I don't know. I don't talk about this as nearly as much as I should, but content creation is like the one thing that has saved my life on so many occasions. Because as someone who is like driven on creativity, who's like it, it's not a secret that I don't really fit in to a normal society. I don't believe in a lot of the same things that a lot of people do. I I pretty much hate how a lot of the world works. College, jobs, working 9 to 5, fucking same shit every day till you have to retire at 75 and die a few years later, and I hate it. So it's not a secret that I don't really fit in with how the world works, and I don't think a lot of people realize just how much this means to me, because to me this was everything. Um, this is the convention that I've waited 3 years for. This is the experience that I've waited 3 years for, and this is something that I look forward to every goddamn year, because it's like I get to meet people who are like me. Not in the sense of like what I believe, but people who are like me in creativity. They want to build, they want to create, they want to like be out there. And it's something amazing. There's something amazing about it. Just seeing all of those minds all in one atmosphere, away from the screens, away from just all of it, and everyone is just there. I know I'm sounding a bit repetitive, but like I don't know. It meant everything. And it really was something that I could not have asked for a better weekend. Or a better 2 weeks even, since I was gone for that long. Um, but yeah, and I got to meet up with the Thirst Project again, which was an amazing time. I got to hang out with all of them. I actually grabbed a photo with Luke, which is going to be right over here. Which was, dude, I love him so much. He's such a cool dude, and so is like all of Thirst Project. Seth, Haley, um, they're all amazing people who work there, and I love so much them all, as well as Faraz. He was another guy I met at Legacy Summit and also at the most recent Thirst Gala. They're the best, dude, and I love them so much. They're also one of the only charities to date that I've ever gotten to work as closely as I have with. Um, and there is a second one coming up as well. But yeah, I think that covers most of my vacation. That's not going to be in the video, at least. But moving on to some announcements real quick. There is going to be a couple of things coming up soon. And those things are going to be this. In December, I am actually working with a new charity, the ILF, that I'm going to try and organize a pretty big event on Twitch for them. I don't know how well it's going to go, considering I'm a small streamer and they're kind of new to the stream space, but we're going to see how it goes, and we're going to take the hits and roll with it and see what we can do with it. And then I'm also going to be meeting with a couple new brands, and utilizing some new tools on my Twitch and everything, and just kind of seeing like how well I can make my streams interactive and how I can grow my channel more. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I've always said this, but it's not about the numbers to me. It's about the impact that I can have. But at the same time, the impact that I can have would be amazing if I could put my full attention into it and make this a full-time career. Because yes, the numbers don't matter to me. I will be doing this whether there's one person watching my streams or whether there's 100. But I will always be doing this. That is the baseline. But it would be nice to be able to put my full attention and motivation and direction towards it. Because that way this could be my job, and then I wouldn't have to worry about outside jobs where money comes from and all of that. I would just have to worry about this, and this would be making money for me. So I'm working with a few brands at the moment, seeing how I can kind of expand profits on it. And I'm a very clear person with what I make off of what. My community can always ask me, and I will be 100% transparent with that. Because I'm not one to hide and say, oh, I don't want to say how much I'm making because, I don't want people to judge me or something like that. Like, no. Like, ask away. I will tell people exactly what I make off of what, and what significance what is to what, for example. Like, we had this discussion about merch the other day in my Discord. Well, not the other day, this was like 3 weeks ago, but they were asking me, like, someone said something and was like, oh, merch is a little expensive. I was like, yeah, sorry, this is as low as I can put it. And I'm making like maybe 90 cents off each thing because the rest of it's going to manufacturing. They were like, you should, and like community was telling me, like, no, dude, like you can drive up prices if you need to make money. And I'm like, I could, but I don't want to, because again, it's not about the money, it's not about the numbers, it's about the impact. It's about making people happy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I've got for this episode, to be honest. So I really did hope you guys enjoy. Check out the episode right after this, coming up at noon PST. That is going to be our Halloween Scary Stories episode with me and Oof in it. So check that out. And then we will be seeing you all on November 15th. And as I mentioned in the next episode as well, there are 4 episodes left in Hell's newsletter for the year. And this has been such an amazing year. I know we've been late with some recordings, but we're making a vow. We made a vow, and we're not going to miss one, despite how late we may be. So I hope this all goes well for y'all. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your year. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of our podcasts coming out. We're unsure what we're going to do for 2023 yet, but we're going to get together and talk about it at some point, and it's going to be hopefully even better. So yeah, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.